Prospects at 3-1, and that was against this very same team. We get kicked off here with the grand final, potentially final series of the entirety of RSC Season 9, and it could be the way of 0-0 Prospects, the little brother to 0-0 Nation, the RLCS level team. These Norwegian men, Enlid and Trex, not J-Wolves because he's the coach. I should assume they're going to pick up a third player at some point to replace Edgeby, who got knocked out in the first round with the Odyssey. Is not here, but these guys are, and they're here to stay. As J-Wolves opens the scoring, gets first blood upon SOLIS. Brain does his utmost to get this out, but he's still read so long ago by Trex to take the ball off him into J-Wolves' path and into the back of the SOLIS net. Great start for 0-0 Prospects.
Yeah, what a start indeed. It's exactly the statement they wanted to make here in this grand final. What a way to open it. Great communication to let J-Wolves come in and slot that in, and it is now once again SOLIS on the back foot. Pablo doing a very good job of shutting that down, but Trex comes into a demo. Brain out of the way. Juicy was last alive momentarily on defense. Does a very good job with that long-bodied car to take that away, but it's still the side of 0-0 Prospects dominating this red half in such a fashion. But J-Wolves with a uncharacteristic whiff is going to let through Pablo, and now the script has flipped after I was talking. The SOLIS are the ones putting all the pressure on. However, that demo could be catastrophic. Trex with a huge flick. With an outstanding finish. He's going to take the side of 0-0 Prospects to a 2-0 lead here in this first game of the grand final.
That was phenomenal. I mean, the flick from Trex was good enough. Moon flick. Sent it so high, but somehow Enlid reaches those heights. Drops it post and in. Past the static defense. Frenchman not quite able to keep that one out. Maybe not this one either, as Trex flicks it to the backboard once again. Came off of a pinch. It will be Enlid to follow up with the reset, with the backboard touch. Could get the triple tap. It's not quite in, but Trex will be there. And even when they don't finish chances like that, magical stuff from 0-0. They have enough wherewithal to be in the right place, finish their teammates' touches and chances. A 3-0 lead against SOLIS. We saw them take them down in such convincing fashion in that upper final. They're continuing to do it here in the grand final. But this is the last chance for SOLIS. They have no more lives left.
They have none whatsoever. This is it, really. If 0-0 Prospects keep up their momentum, they'll be walking away with a K in their pocket. That is $1,000 I'm talking about. One smackaroons. They've got a 3-goal lead here, and they're looking to press and make it a fourth potentially. The J-Wolves does get the touch over Pablo. Trex is there, punts to the corner, finds a second touch with Brain. Playing patiently, is able to take that away, but only momentarily. As this side of 0-0 Prospects, they are relentless. They want this win, and they are definitely proving a point. A huge 50-50 pinch is going to bounce off the backboard, making it very precarious momentarily. Brain's going to come off the backboard once again, finds a clearance, Trex knocks it up, finds a brilliant angle, but straight into Juicy. His Brain gets the demo onto J-Rolls. Is Juicy trying to do something ridiculous. The double commit, though, from the back line defense of 0-0 Prospects is going to leave them exposed. But only for a brief moment, as the recovery time of these players is astronomical. A great aerial pass over to Enlid to put it into that corner. Trex is just playing patiently. Brain having to do his best defensive impersonation and does so well with assistance of Juicy. It's back and forth, but this 0-0 Prospect side, they are 3 goals up right now, and we have just gone under 2 minutes left of game time.
Oh, I thought I was about to be saying that they're only 3-1 up, but a chance goes spurning once again for SOLIS to drag themselves back into this game. Not only are they having to deal with the prolific nature of this blue side on the field, but there's also the intimidation factor. They've already lost to this team. They could only get a single game off of them. They barely scored any goals within that series itself as well. They continue to be on the back foot. They seem to have settled ever so slightly into this game. Maybe find their footing. As I say it, it comes off a blue defender. Pablo will be credited for the play, but Juicy drops it down to him. Decent enough control. All he does is touch it through the corner. It ends up sliding through 2 defenders. J-Wolves in a scramble to get back to that near post, but it won't be quite enough. They get themselves on the board. One of the most important goals I think they've scored in this entire tournament, as Juicy's looking to make another one here off the bat ball, but it will be denied by the player coach himself. 0-0 prospects, a simple touch to the corner, friendly to deal with. Pablo waiting in the wings, trying to hunt him down. Juicy loses the 50. A free shot for Trex is far too weak. Not able to break the play into the net once more. They'll be desperate to regain that 3-goal lead. Such a mighty cushion for them to hold onto in game one, but as the minute mark passes over us, it does feel like SOLIS is starting to find some sort of rhythm.
Yeah, definitely. However, it's 3-1. We've got under a minute left to play, Vector. Has that rhythm come too late? Is the tempo too slow? Is the orchestra of this SOLIS side definitely haven't hit their ultimate volume yet, but a team bump
and they've been
from the side of SOLIS has definitely formed some sort of deafening echo as the screeches of the violins ring out strong, and Enlid, just being the most disrespectful player on the field, jumps over the two SOLIS
like a
players,
matador,
forcing the bump out, and said Matador lifted that red flag at the nick of time, putting that 4-1 lead in for the side of 0-0 prospects, and SOLIS, all they can do now is maybe get a consolation goal. What a consolation goal it was!
It may not be, Hawk. 25 seconds, I think, is enough time for any player of Prem caliber to score. Of course, it depends on the defense. It was lacking there from 0-0. There was a demo somewhere within that play, and it did give the time necessary for Juicy to slam that into the back of the blue net. A good kickoff for them does allow another chance, but Brain maybe throws it away. Desperate to get that next goal in their favor, but it will be a big demo to open it up. The fake from J-Walls, 200 IQ, throws it to the backboard as well. It will not be quick enough to prevent Pablo from keeping it away, but it will probably be enough to secure game one in this best of 7 for 0-0 prospects. Played mightily well. It's the very same scoreline that SOLIS took against Luna in that 5th and final game just a series ago, and it continues to be a caliber performance so far. We see whether he keeps it up, but a big kickoff win for SOLIS will give them all the confidence in the world, as will it for Pablo, the goal scorer himself. Brain with an amazing kickoff. Actually, Trex dives upon that much quicker than you might have thought he needed to, getting a little bit overzealous at the beginning of game 2, trying to play a little too quick, and it is forced into such an error that they're definitely not going to want to repeat.
Definitely so. It's a way to open things up, a way to build confidence for the SOLIS side going into an early lead. The defense, though, has been incredible. Whether they decide of 0-0 prospects can bring it back and bring the caliber back of what we saw in game number 1, we'll have to see. But Brain playing like that.
Oh, Juicy!
And Juicy once again sending to the backboard for a double tap as a huge amount of gifted subs comes in by Asterix.
Oh my goodness, what is happening? How generous are you people in this community? It's ridiculous. Asterix and Masters are nonsensical. You're spending too much money on us, lads. Gotta save some for yourselves. 0-0 prospects have got to save their graces here. They're managing to take this series in a clean fashion. The SOLIS are doing exactly to them what they had done to them in that first game. Brain with an amazing air dribble, somehow has just enough boost to get back to the ball. Then Juicy, recognizing there's 3 defenders, go for the double tap, create that extra space and that time necessary to go for the finish. He's doing it once more, doesn't have the boost to follow it up, but he does drag out 2 defenders. Enlid being one of them with an amazing dribble to take it past another. Brain with a shot on his own net, giving Enlid the satisfaction of a goal on the board all the way from the other end. He was just so desperate to get a touch on that one. He didn't know it was going to be in the wrong direction. And it ends up being 1 goal for 0-0 at the courtesy of SOLIS. 0-0 haven't scored in this match. Never mind, they have. They didn't before the kickoff goal. We've seen one for both sides now. What's happening, Hop? Could someone explain this to me?
I don't particularly understand. We've seen 2 kickoff goals in 1 game in Premier.
It's such a rarity.
It's such a rarity. It's almost as rare as Hops being quiet, which is pretty mental. I never heard of it, but at the end of the day, anything can happen with the way that this Premier Grand Final is going. 0-0 cast, 0-0 prospects coming back from the cause of defeat. We've still got 3 minutes 40 on the clock here, and they are bouncing back, and they're doing so in a real incredible way. Nasty Braino with an early shot. Trex with an incredible flick. Just getting the touch was Juicy. As the ball bounced off the backboard once again. J-Ball was attempting to keep the attack alive. Trex puts it up high. Juicy's going to be able to read that. J-Balls with a huge win. And 0-0 Prospects, they've been so effective at keeping the momentum in their hands. And the Trexmeister Jemble is able to command his squad as he's able to get that third goal in. And from a 2-goal deficit, 0-0 Prospects are bounced straight back into the lead.
Not just keeping it, getting even more. Claiming that territory. The blue half is starting to creep into the red. It's going to end up purple if they're not careful, but the opposite side strikes once more. Pablo with the first brace of the game, taking it back to a 3-3. Another kickoff goal. What is going on with these defenses? Are the nerves starting to set in? Is the fatigue there? Something I wanted to mention in that first series between 0-0 and SOLIS. 0-0 had to wait a long time. It was delayed for, reasons outside of our control sometimes. But they were upset. They did not like waiting. They did not like to be kept waiting. They had to wait for this grand final for a very long time because Luna and SOLIS went to that game 5. And now it's starting to maybe have an effect here in this grand final as they keep going stride for stride with SOLIS, going back and forth with the shots, with the finishes. It's actually SOLIS that have got more shots than 0-0 Prospects. 2 more, in fact, and that has given them a bit more of a boon in terms of going forward and making 0-0 realize that they aren't invincible, that there's going to be plenty of shots leveled at them and they're going to be difficult to deal with. Right now it's a tie game halfway through, and if it continues like this, I have no idea which way the series is going to go.
I absolutely have no clue, but this 0-0 Prospects side doing an incredible job. I'm sure the higher-ups in 0-0 Nation, they'll be looking at this side and thinking, a couple of these players are rather tasty. But right now, SOLIS, they're equally covering our palette in a beautiful way, especially Pablo, who almost sets up Juicy for a brilliant shot, but at the end of the day was covered by Inlet, who's been an outstanding performer throughout this whole grand final. Trex going forward, not much to work with, and Pablo going after Mr. Escobar himself, decides to blow him up. Inlet towards the centre, J-Walls with the shot, but a save coming out from Juicy. Trex plays towards the backboard, looking for a teammate. He gets a demo onto Brain as Pablo gets control off the backboard. Trex is there.
Oh, Trex!
A finish coming out from Trex. He absolutely threads the needle between the defenders. Finds the bottom corner. That looked like absolutely no shot of going in, but somehow Trex makes it work.
Punishes the pre-jump. Joins the 2-goal club. Himself and Pablo alongside one another now. 4-3. Highest scoring game we've ever seen between these two teams. And it could continue to go that way. A minute left on the clock. It's looking like it could be 0-0 to find another one. Trex with an amazing looking double tap, but a tight angle denies him. No defense there to prevent it. But this one dropped down to Pablo. Flick over. Enlid. Brain in the corner, wins out the 50. Juicy to pick up the pieces off the ceiling as well, looking for a teammate, but both of them in rotation. That seems to be a problem for SOLIS. They don't finish their chances. I've saw it a couple times from Pablo. He drops it into the mid. No one is there. Juicy had a big chance for it, but he was facing the wrong way. They're assuming that the play isn't going to happen. It's not going to land in their favor. And that lack of confidence, of belief in themselves, I think is just giving the edge to 0-0 Prospects. They lead the game with only one fragile, simple goal. With 30 seconds left to go, it could be Brain to equalize. He's denied as well. Juicy through the corner to fight off Trex. He has no boost, but he wins the battle. It's a quick clearance. Trex is going to be all alone against Brain. Who's going to win this battle? It will be the Frenchman. Once more through the corner. J-Walls to try and finish it, but he's cut out once more by that quick defense. Juicy, one last time up the field. It's going to be Pablo to take the shot, but it's weak. A bouncer. Enlid back up the field, maybe looking for the 2-goal lead, but it's Brain to deny him. One more time. 0 seconds left. It's on the ground. 0-0 Prospects take a 2-game lead in this series.
54-second place is coming up right down to the wire. SOLIS has been incredible, making an incredible run, and Brain has been at the forefront of it. Tries to set up Juicy, but Inlet absolutely capitalizes from the defense coming up the ceiling, get that touch away. Brain's going to follow up once again. Giles is there, but towards the corner, a bit of an awkward touch from him, but does a very good job of recuperating. Pablo up along with Trex, knocks it off the ceiling, gets a second touch, making it so difficult for the side of SOLIS to do anything to get out of their defense. Eventually, it comes in the form of Brain linking up with Pablo, but still, the midfield control from 0-0 Prospects is really incredible to see.
It is. And just a little fun fact, as we're talking about the potential of 0-0 going to a match point, 3 games on the bounce. The only potential reverse sweep we've seen in these Premier playoffs did involve 0-0. They were facing one down at the hands of London Esports in the very first series of the night in that upper bracket round 1. Went to game 5, they denied the reverse sweep. And should it come to pass again, I feel that they would do it to SOLIS. But it's still plenty left to play for, still not at that point yet, and SOLIS with 4 minutes of Rocket League left to play here in Game 3 on Urban Central. They're going to have to find some grit, some street smarts, if they're going to manage to beat such a side as 0-0. They threw everything into that last game, and they still couldn't do it. What more must they do? What must they pull out of their bag of tricks, out of their sleeves, to decimate this this French side? The other side, even this Norwegian side, and make sure that they don't defy all expectations. No one expected them to win. They were the predicted champion in the power rankings at the very beginning of the season. That was with Edgeby, and then when the talent came out and we all thought, you know, Luna or SOLIS, someone other than this team is going to win it, and right now they are proving everybody wrong.
They really are, and I think credit must go over to J-Wills, who is that coach who stepped in here and has been paramount to the success of 0-0 Prospects so far. Great save coming out from Juicy. It's going to facilitate Pablo in going forward. Brent's going to be up, but Trek's already up off the backboard to mitigate a shot from coming in. And now, it's like 0-0 Prospects wanting to formulate some sort of counter-attack. See how potent this concoction they've come up with is, as Pablo is able to swallow it down and manage it very, very nicely. Trex is there off the backboard once again, gets 15 out, Brain fast to the ball. Juicy's going to have a shot, plays it towards the goal, but it wasn't accurate enough, and then eventually the defense and the goal line clearance is coming in from the side of 0-0 Prospects, as potent as always. Brain does land the ball, winning that 50-50, but it's given J-Walls the opportunity to musty flick it. Pablo gets in the way the last second. I didn't see him until the last possible, minute there. He came in for that touch, and off the backboard once again. Trex is going to be there, plays it high, looking for a teammate. Juicy's going to be able to get that touch. J-Walls with the patience, J-Walls with the shot, but it's a bit wide again. Neither of these teams able to buy a goal at this stage.
And SOLIS looks so awkward at times on defense. Juicy having to reverse up his own backboard. Another shot comes in, this time denied by Pablo, but it's straight to another blue player. Brain finally does clear it to the blue half of the field, but it won't be enough. Still back in the red. J-Wills does miss this out, and then his teammate gets demoed, so they have a soft reset here. SOLIS to gather themselves, to gather the strength and the courage to go back up the field. This game has come and gone, Hop. We've almost got only a minute left. The fact that not a single goal has come from this series is crazy. I thought maybe Unforbidden Temple, it was a bit of an anomaly that we got to 7 goals, but this one, the complete opposite. Completely left dry. Been plenty of shots, more so from 0-0, but SOLIS are looking to do even more if they can. They're having to defend for their lives at the moment, prevent that match point coming into reality. It's Enlid back through the mid. He's going to be beaten out by Brain, and then Pablo throws it into Trex. Still enough boost to recover and almost get the flick over Juicy, but he dives upon him with that Mustang, throwing it through. Brain is already on the rotation. J-Walls could beat both of them, but it's going to be Pablo to deny. No defender left. It ends up not being Juicy to make the touch, as Pablo has to come to the rescue. J-Walls back into the mid. No blue player there. An open net chance for SOLIS to shoot at. It's going to be Brain on no boost. Trex can't get there. The 20-second go-ahead goal. SOLIS could be giving themselves a lifeline.
Wow, I mean, SOLIS, an incredible showing of their defensive prowess. They held off the side of 0-0 Prospects for such an enormous amount of time, and they were rewarded for their efforts with that 1-goal lead. but they cannot let anything up yet, and they do not do so whatsoever. It's a 2-goal lead. There's 30 seconds left on the clock, but I think really 0-0 Prospects, they've run out of steam. They were absolutely ravenous in finding that opening goal, and it led to them having a plethora of shots and a plethora of opportunities. But at the end of the day, loads of shots, it doesn't matter if you're not going to capitalize upon them. And SOLIS, with their 2 late opportunities here, they've definitely taken a firm grip of this game, and they will finally get on the board of this series. It will be 2-1 in favor of 0-0 Prospects, but SOLIS done well so far. They've got up the first step. It's now rest, and in their favor to climb the rest of said escalator.
Wait, I forgot. ZEU broke the curse, didn't they? They won game 3 in the second best of 7, and then game 4. So maybe it won't happen again.
It may not do, especially with the way that 0-0 Prospects are firing on all cylinders in this game at number 4. And the shot again on, but this SOLIS defense has been amazing throughout this tournament. And only really has it been 0-0 Prospects the ones to really break
Juicy!
What? He out something.
Oh, he got bumped out of this play. He got hit on the front of the bumper. That actually helped him control the ball better. A 1v3 air dribble to take the lead in game 4. That I was sorry to interrupt there, Hop, but that was absolutely mind-blowing how he managed to keep composure in that dribble. That was one of the best goals I've ever seen.
Interrupt me, especially with Juicy plays like that. My mind was too busy focusing on what the hell is going on in the game. And then Juicy whips out something like that, so much source Vector loses his mind. I absolutely love it. What a showing.
Part of me doesn't.
What a way for SOLIS to make a statement. They've gone up again in this game. And after the way that 0-0 Prospects were looking in the first 2 matches of this series, it was a really dire sight to see SOLIS play. But they have really answered back and really put on a show so far. But Enlid doing what Enlid does best, but the post is going to deny the shot from Trex. And Juicy going back down the other end of the field, trying to link up with Pablo for their second goal. Going to be denied early on as Trex wanting to do his business in the opposite end of the field. Brain sends it right back down to the blue corner, and a finish from Pablo is going to put to the side of SOLIS back up to 2 goals. What is happening in these playoff grand finals?
It's the Pablo and Juicy party. Both of them so close. Almost 250 points. Match between them. No one else has over 100. Brain is the closest. All of 0-0 below the mark. And it's happening again this time. They get 2 goals far quicker than they did in the prior game. It could be 3 as a shot from Brain all the way through the middle of the field. Trex just about keeps it away and keeps Juicy away. Not Juicy, Brain away, I believe it was, from that follow-up touch. Ends up being J Walls to pick up this ball, taps it across to Enlid with the free shot, but it's weak. Flaccid, shall we say. They're not managing to get these touches away that they were doing so much in the first 2 games of this series. And they're falling apart. You said it yourself that they seem to lose steam towards the end of that game on Urban Central, and it's coming into fruition once more as this one's fifted into the mid. Brain. It's going to hunt down Enlid instead. He knew he wasn't going to beat him to the ball, but he can just take him off the axles. And it's looking like they're struggling, 0-0. They've changed something, or SOLIS have changed something as the double tap is just about denied. If that one was more accurate, it would have easily been a 3-goal lead, but it is from Juicy once again! How does he keep doing this?
Oh, I'm telling you now, is Juicy has installed something into that Mustang, and it's absolutely awoken the beast with V8 in it. And he is revving his way towards the potential upset and potential, I don't know, chaos of what this series is producing. Right now, though, J-Ball's still stuck on 96 points, not able to do much at all. He's been completely shut out. Trex, on the other hand, is doing magic. Trex trying to find his own air dribble, but the man of the omen able to take it away. Here's Asterix with another set of gifted subs, is opening up our hearts of joy. Hopefully going to see the side of 0-0 Prospects give a better fight as they are completely being shut out.
I think I've identified Santa. Hop. It's like that Asterix or Hop. And it will be for Trex as well, delivering this present into the back of SOLIS's net. Brain did his best, but Enlid does amazingly well to read that trajectory. He kind of fell onto it slightly, but he still gets the touch enough into the mid for Trex to finish it, get one goal back, and we saw a similar situation for SOLIS in the game on Forbidden Temple, where I think 0-0 went 3-0 up, and SOLIS got one back. They couldn't quite scramble back for that one. Could be the different situation for 0-0 unless Juicy can finish that one off, but just narrowly high. Brain to pick it up. He's done this before. The air dribble's denied by J-Walls, taken away from him. Daylight robbery. It could be another for Pablo to take it to the ground. Follows his own touch. The triple tap past two defenders. SOLIS are going to another level. They are ascending up. What?
Was ridiculous.
Goal of the playoffs. That's got to be. No one has done anything remotely close to that.
That. I am slightly blown away by that goal. I can't lie to you.
I am flicking through my thesaurus at light speed, Hop. Nothing describes what that was.
That was obscene.
That was something new.
That's a triple tap off the floor. Not often are we stunned at the caster desk, but that definitely has done
Hop's
it right.
mind is gone, so you've got to imagine how 0-0 are feeling after being scored upon like that. What a clip to finish off. And to take SOLIS into a 2-2 in this series. I mean, it's not over yet, of course, but after that one, there is no coming back. It could be another from Juicy. Picks up the ball, edge of the blue box, follows it himself. Plenty of boost, but not the double tap he wanted. Still, every single time there's another SOLIS player there ready for it. Brain was backwards this time, so 0-0 prospects get spared another concession as Trex tries to find his second goal. Won't be enough. Divided by the SOLIS defense that has been almost impeccable in the last two games. I mean, it was in the last one. They were perfect. They didn't get conceded on. In this one, they did just about. It was only from a slight miscalculation from Brain. That was all that they got. 0-0 prospects struggle so much in this one. They continue to do so as SOLIS bring us back to a tie series. And we thought to this fifth game, which side it's going to go, who it will favour, I do not know. But the Norwegians are used to the cold, Hop, so it may favour them.
It may well favour them. I think a lot of people were surprised to see this map. Even the players were, but at the end of it, I think it was a psionics issue more than anything, as I believe Source actually put it onto Dust.
Oh, it doesn't seem to matter.
It seems to be doing some magic, and it's off the crossbar and down. It doesn't go in. How? Somehow, the snowy game has made the crossbar extra slippery. I don't really know how that goal didn't go in, but it's still 0-0. And this side of SOLIS, they really are grinding their way up through the gears. It seems like they're going to run out of them soon, as Juicy almost finds a touch and a shot off of that one. And he plays it high to the ceiling. Brain is going to be there, knocks it off the sidewall. J-Wall's going to meet him. Juicy is up, finds the first touch, can't find the second, goes straight into Trex's bumper. Then Trex finds the catch, plays it to J-Walls, off the sidewall. J-Walls looking for the redirect, can't find it. Brent's going to be right there. Off the bad ball he goes once again. England a little bit too far pushed up. Decides to go for the catch.
Oh!
Down for J-Walls, but off the crossbar again.
And the fourth man for both teams showing up to save them. Crossbar rattling after both teams cannot quite find their marks. Brain looking for another double tap. He was a little bit confused, surprised that even came to him. He didn't expect the opportunity, didn't have the boost for it either. Once more, he doesn't have enough here. Has to leave it to Juicy, who just about wins the 50. It's awkward for Pablo with that ramp bounce, but it's still in the blue half of the field. J-Walls is forced to go up to keep Brain away. Juicy already on the rotation. Pablo picks it up, denied by Trex. Another pass in field is found. Maybe a 1-2-3, but Enlid is in that lane. He's here for the finish as well, but he puts it mightily high. That was strange. I'm not sure if it was on low boost, but he couldn't get above it. Could not put it down into the red net. It was the 3-minute mark. Crosses over us still at 0-0 game. For 0-0 prospects and SOLIS in equal parts. And it continues to be a tight affair. Going down to the wire this time. Did on Urban Central. It took so long for SOLIS to find their 2 goals. They eventually did. It was a different situation on Forbidden Temple, but now here on this Colosseum. I expect this field to be full of green by the end of it, Hawk, because this is such a sweltering series.
It really is. Just to reiterate.
Gonna melt all the snow.
Yeah, exactly. Just to reiterate, Ammons did put this game onto dusk, so we don't really know why it's snowy.
Huh.
It's I think Psyonix decided to cool us off after this meltering heat that would be kind of resonating off the side of this series. There's a great showing
cool everybody down.
the side of SOLIS. They keep on pressing, but 0-0 Prospects, they'll be happier now. They're able to maintain a goalless game. They've had an opportunity to go forward here. J-Walls is up, knocks it to the sidewall, straight into Juicy. Eland's going to be there, knocks it badly down, as Brain is going to give SOLIS the lead. I can't quite believe what's happening, but SOLIS, they are just starting to run away with this first best of 7.
And Enlid, so close. He desperately did not want to hit the ball in that direction. The way he drove up the backboard, he wanted to take it into the corner, but only the mid will be found. And he reverses just slightly too quickly to deny the follow-up shot. Goes in off of him. Another late lead for SOLIS. It could be denied if J-Walls could get that through. He doesn't even need to. Just needs to be the blocker, the bully, the bouncer for 0-0 Prospects. Wins 2 50s in quick succession to allow Trex to fly in. Find the equalizer for 0-0. They managed to bring it back to an equal tie game once more. Basically reset. We're just going to play out a minute and a half of a Rocket League game and see who can take the crown.
It's so mentally close between these two sides. But both of them definitely
match point on the line, by the way.
Match point is online, exactly. Whoever takes this is going to go on to match point. Right now, I think a lot of people are expecting 0-0 Prospects to be done and dusted by now, but SOLIS having another thought about that. Pablo to the sidewall, couldn't find the second touch. Juicy is going to be there to send it right back down towards Pablo. Inlet had to get in the way the last second, but the passing plays coming out so effective from SOLIS. But so far, the defense of 0-0 Prospects being even better. Is J-Walls, the coach, looking to do something with it. Almost slots it into the top corner. He does find a demo also for his efforts, but not the goal that he wanted so badly. Brain, great 50-50 up goes J-Walls, looking for Trex. Trex and Pablo 50-50 out to the side wall. Brain's going to be there first to the ball. Trex is just tracking back. Tries to get a smart touch around Juicy. As Juicy does get the 50-50 win and the demo onto J-Walls. The save having to come in from Enlid. And then it does come follow up once again. Goes off the side wall. Plays it a pinch off the ceiling straight into the Mustang of Juicy. Right now it's back and forth action. J-Walls with a huge chunk. Trex puts the shot wide. And right now these accurate shots just being the painstaking maker of the side of the 0-0 Prospects. Almost an incredible goal. J-Walls plays it off the sidewall. Trex is going to be there. But wins that 50-50. Up it goes, off the backboard again. And it's there, but it's taken away by Juicy the last second. The ball has yet to touch the ground.
Trex is 0.
He's going to be able to get there.
He's in.
And 0 seconds takes SOLIS to match point.
They had to go all the way across the field. Trex was on an empty tank. And that shot, because of how precise it was, it went post and crossbar in. J-Walls was there too soon, too early.
For such as this 0-0 Prospect side is not an easy ask. Early demo from Brain as Juicy can't find the flip reset, but can't land on it. Does put the shot on early. J-Walls gets in the middle of it. Fortunately for them, the follow-up shot was not meant to be, but it is still SOLIS with an incredible amount of pressure. That seems what they do best here. They shut down the 0-0 Prospect side. They do not let them breathe, and it's rewarding them with this match point series of the first best of 7 in this grand final. And so far, after those first 2 game wins that Prospects have won, SOLIS, they have not stopped winning.
And there's been so many sweet air dribbles as well. Such composure and control from all 6 of these players. It's been a pleasure to watch, an honor, privilege. I think someone's been messing with the thermostat, Hot. We find ourselves on Wasteland.
Yeah, I'm moist right now.
Complete opposite. We've gone from cold to hot. Continues to heat up this series. As Juicy air dribbles, Trex wasn't quite ready for the fact he was dropping it off to him, but they do get spared here at 0-0. As Bren takes it all the way back to his corner to draw out that offense, passes it along to Pablo. The shot's on target, but Enlid is there to deny the bottom left finisher. Still pressure on from Brain. It's Juicy with the free shot. Juicy J-Walls is there. The two J's link up. Get rid of that ball off the blue goal line, and they're just about getting away with it. You said Solis continue to win. They continue to shoot 4 to the 0 of 0-0 prospects now, and they just keep finding new levels. They just keep upping the level of competition. I don't know how they're doing it.
Absolutely no clue either. And it's every single facet of Solis's game seems to be impenetrable at this stage. Pablo goes forward, plays it to the backboard smartly, but meets Inlid. Trex is already up the field, can't find the touch needed, unfortunately, as he hesitates on the cherry picker attempt. Inlid plays it across the goal, but Brain is there to meet him. J-Walls tries to put it towards the centre. Trex is going to be there, off to the corner. He goes up, tries to meet the ball, look for the central pass, but it's met by Juicy and that fat Mustang. A great touch from J-Walls to keep the attack alive momentarily. Brain is already up in that midfield. A great pass down to Trex. Trex plays it off, but denying the shot to the last second, keeping his side with a 0-0 game. We've hit the halfway marker, no goals scored, but this is often where we see Solis up the tempo. They are absolutely fearless, and this man with the control of the ball right now, Juicy, has been one of the least scared of them all. He's been so petrifying when going forward. Everything he touched seems to turn to gold. Can 0-0 prospects turn their touches to diamond? Because that's the only way I can see them taking this game.
Well, whichever's tougher, whichever's more precious, I assume will win the day, but Solis on the front foot. Match point. They win one more game. The next 2 minutes, they will see themselves in a second best of 7 against 0-0 prospects. It will be the third series between them of the night. Desperation starts to set in for them now. These two teams have become so intimate with one another. They understand each other inside and out. They know how to deny each other, but something's got to give. Someone has got to step up, be that talisman, be that difference maker, and it will be Trex to do it here. He's done it so many times tonight. He does it again, a 1-2-3 here. Actually, not just a 1-2, it ends up being thrown straight back to J-Walls, who puts it back to the mid. And as Solis cannot clear their lines, they find themselves clearing the ball out of their own net and potentially facing down a Game 7.
I mean, it's insane. I hope for the sanity of all of us that it goes to a Game 7. I really want to see these two teams battle it out even further. Pablo wanted to have a say about it as he plays it off the ceiling to that opposite corner. Brain is already there. A great cutting touch from one of the 0-0 side players. Send it into the opposite corner in that red half. Pablo doing a good job of disrupting. A great shot from J-Walls, but even better save from Brain. Somehow pitching off his own top corner to keep that out. But it is still the start of 0-0 prospects in the lead. They so desperately need a win here.
And Lids
going down 3 games in a row in this grand final. J-Walls in that midfield, knocks it high, looking for a teammate to follow it up, and it is going to be Trex. Off the backboard it goes. Trex has been very quiet after those 2 games. First 2 games. Needs to wake up a little bit, see his scoring potential form come out to raise its head once more. Pablo goes up. Central ball in, it goes. Brain not able to get there in time.
Here we go, the reset. Oh my goodness!
Even better from Trex. I called him out. He heard me calling, and that T of Trex. Absolutely lethal. You don't question this man in the Animal Kingdom. You don't question him here in the Rocket League fields.
Ye ask, and ye shall receive, Hope. He answered the call, and it could be another for J-Walls. The kickoff goal. They've been demolished here, Solis. Psychologically, physically, mentally, and emotionally. They go down a 3-0 deficit with 17 seconds left to go. This will all but guarantee a Game 7 in the first, potentially, series of these two teams. Could have been in a reverse sweep because Solis won 3 on the bounce, but they already won 1 in 2. It's 1 goal. They've got 1 back. 12 seconds. They got this one almost immediately off of kickoff. If they do it 2 more times, they could pull off something unprecedented, Hop. And I would not be able to contain myself if they do.
If they do this, I don't know what to believe. I don't think it's going to happen, though. as the clock is ticking
No.
down. The ball's in the opposite end of the field.
Close.
For, I think, everybody's sanity. They haven't been able to close
Just
it
for
out.
safety reasons, yeah, they weren't allowed to.
Yeah, for safety reasons. I'd already...
Them to desperately attempt to keep this one in their favor as we get kicked off here with potentially the final game of the entire season. 5 more minutes and we could be crowning 0-0 Prospects the champion of Premier. £1,000 in their pockets, but it could be denied by bringing this off the line. Both posts the hit. That one will not be a go-ahead goal for the red side. Could it be here? No, it will not. Denied once more. If that doesn't go in, Hop, what more can you hope for as a SOLIS player?
No, but the soul-crushing factor that it didn't go
Maybe
in.
this
is just
okay.
heartbreaking.
So we don't know what's happening anymore.
Right now, the side of System, Solaris, SOLIS roster are in the lead in the Game 7.
What?
An incredible goal line save coming out from Trex. He's denied by a triple commit from 0-0 Prospects and a clearance goal. I mean, what more sums up Rocket League better than that? I don't know. But that was absolutely nonsensical. His brain does send it right back into the opposite corner. J-Will with a nice, lighter pinch. Does find Juicy, though, in the midfield. Flip reset comes in. Juicy's been ridiculous going forward today with that long-bodied car. In with a 50-50. Ben's going to be there. Gets the catch. J-Will's going to be wise to it.
It's wide.
It's just a little bit wide for him. And those are the opportunities you got to capitalize on if you are on 0-0 Prospects. They hit the shot. He's going to be there with the save, though. That chunky car paying absolute dividends when needed. Trex gets played around by Juicy. Does find the bump. J-Rolls is trying to force the 50-50 out into that opposite corner. Goes again. Gets the demo onto Juicy.
That's on.
Oh my god, it's falls in! What?
It was a demo. It opened it up. J-Walls.
What are these goals? What are these goals?
This is so horrible to see, the way that these are going in. We've seen some unbelievable highlight plays, mainly from SOLIS. That one's still in my mind. I'm replaying it over and over again, just because I don't know if I'm ever going to see a better goal than that. But the fact that these kinds of goals are going in now, you can tell the fatigue is starting to set in. Mind games are starting to hit that much harder. Every single goal is worth its weight in gold. And it could be a gold medal for 0-0 if they can hold on to this, if they can pad this lead again. They won't care how they go in, just that they do. And it could be him, Enlid, on the ball again with the reset, maybe, but thankfully enough for SOLIS, Juicy is in the way. That long Mustang has so much real estate on the ball. He could be doing it again with an unbelievable redirect. It's not going to be enough. Neither will Brain's attempt, as it's kept out by the back wall. Trex carry the ball here through the mid with the flick. The shot on target. Enlid is there, but so is Brain. In the right position time and time again. Enlid off the sidewall with the reset. J-Walls is going to be there first, but denied by a defender. So is Trex. It's dropped back down off the post. What a save by Brain. The recovery is nigh unbelievable from SOLIS. Their defense has been such a standout in this entire playoff performance, but in this series especially, they've made some unbelievable stops.
They really have. They've seen the paramount and the key to them getting this far in the grand final. Trex trying to break that down, but it's not so happened so easily whatsoever. J-Walls is going to whiff that ball. Ian's going to find the catch, though, fortunately for him. A great touch as well of Van 1. Ian's going to go again, but Juicy, as you said, the real estate definitely being taken up in front of that goal by Juicy. And it off the backboard again, sends a booming clearance just to give some remnants of breathing room for the 0-0 Prospect side. Trex plays it up and high towards the backboard it goes. Pablo's going to be there to return the favour in terms of clearances. Passing play comes out. Then we can't get back to it. Zinle's touch was a little bit too hard, but Ina gets there.
Oh, Trex!
Down for the shot. Can he finish it? No, he can't. As Pablo gets in the way at the last second on that goal line. We've got 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock. And 0-0 Prospects, they seem to be waking up a little bit here. They do not want to play any more Rocket League this evening. They want to grab it in their pocket. However, this SOLIS side, you cannot stop them. They are marching forward towards a bracket reset. Trex gets his huge truck forward towards the opposite corner. Trex is going to go in.
What's the target?
Is going to finish it. Finally, we have 0-0 prospects are up 2-1. It's 1 minute and 3 seconds on the clock. Is that enough for SOLIS to bring this back?
If this went to an overtime, Hop, I don't think my heart could take it. Right now, I think, if I'm saying this correctly, I'm not sure if I am, 0-0 prospects, maybe my antihistamines. They're making sure that my heart is strong. Is this one to the backboard? Pablo trying to give me a heart attack with that. Juicy to the backboard. Another shot from Braid. Crossbar down and out, but Pablo is there. Puts it high. Juicy not on target. They take away 3 golden opportunities. 0-0 prospects. Trex with the brace as well as a save to his name. Been doing so much work. You called him out in the last game on the Wasteland. He pulled off an unbelievable goal, and this could be the third. Oh, fuck. Brain gets back. I thought that was wide open. Somehow he's there. 30 seconds left to go. Still a 1-goal game. Pablo throwing it back to the mid. Brain and Juicy have to commit on that one. But Trex beats both of them with this long clear. Gets beaten in this corner, but he steals the boost from Juicy and the middle boost as well. That's such a nuisance. So annoying for SOLIS to deal with. But Pablo to the mid. Brain is beaten. Still in this red corner. He takes the boost. He pops it up high. It's to the backboard. Juicy's there! Oh my god, that's the equalizer with 5 seconds again! No! How is this happening?
I can't believe this anymore!
I almost said something I shouldn't, Hop. I am having to censor myself for how crazy this matchup is. A neutral kickoff could be determined. They've done it so many times. Oh my goodness, if Enlid didn't get that touch. They could have done it again. A 0-second go-ahead goal would have been ridiculous. Please don't be a kickoff goal. Thank you for not letting that happen. But Juicy could be the one to kill their heart. It's not going to be a reset just yet. Trex denies it on the line. Kept in the blue heart. J-Walls is here. Just 1 goal to keep these two apart. Enlid with a blistering bullet is denied at the raw right corner. Trex is still there. A big pinch for Brain to take a shot. Trex has to keep it out. I can't keep this going up. I need to tag you in. It's on target, Juicy!
We have this bracket reset for the 5th time this season! Who we have as the Premier Season 9 Grand Final champions? I don't know at this stage. It's been an audacious run. It's been a ridiculous run. It's been bombastic, scintillating. Every single word you can throw at us that it can be describing this series. But I wouldn't have it any other way. This is the RSC. This is Season 9. And this is the Premier Grand Final.
We need to pace ourselves. This could be 7 more games of some of the greatest Rocket League that has ever graced the RSC. As Pablo doesn't take first blood, he takes about 20th blood at this point. Both teams are full of holes. I am shaking. I can see my hand rocking back and forth because this is ridiculous. This is something else. We've never seen this many bracket resets. We have not seen one in Premier ever before. It went to Game 7 last time out. It went to it again. Great flick up by Enlid to allow J-Walls to take this shot. It ends up being a 1-2. He gets credited with the goal, but they had to have closed that out. How did they choke that lead in that Grand Final, Game 7? What is SOLIS even doing? This is something else. This is something beyond all of us, Hop, and it is as beautiful, as mesmerizing, as fantastic as it is to see. I am tired, and if I'm tired, how are these players feeling? How are they going to do this all over again?
Exhaustion is one hell of a drug, and Juicy is a
adrenaline is one hell of a drug.
Yeah, adrenaline is one hell of a drug, and that's exactly what Juicy is thriving off of.
The pace of that.
His name is Juicy. He drinks juices which are just pumped through of caffeine and adrenaline, and he's chunked about 5 pints of it, and you can see why and the repercussions of it. It's 2-1 in favour of this SOLIS side, and they are not stopping 0-0 prospects. They have run out of fuel. They're going to have to run out some sort of fumes here. They want any opportunity for SOLIS to actually battle SOLIS. because they're running on everything right now. There's nothing on the field for the side of 0-0 Prospects to take anymore.
They're all fighting on fumes. Every single one of these players is fighting on pure, sheer instinct at this point. They've played so much Rocket League, SOLIS more so, at least one series more. And it did go to Game 5. They are used to do-or-die situations, SOLIS. That might have been what gave them the edge against 0-0 in that overtime. I thought that was going to be it. I thought that was all that was left to say. But both sides somehow still continue to battle. They are still shooting each other down time and time again. Another 2-2 game. And this could go on for such a long time, Holt. I don't even want to think about it.
My jacket is off.
It has to come off.
I can't. I'm scared for a Game 7. I'm petrified.
Every single game on Champions Field.
This desk for almost 4 hours casting now. Source has been at this desk for at least 6 hours. Longer with all the prep that he does, probably nearer 10. And we are yet to reach the epitome of how good this Rocket League is. These teams, regardless I think of the outcome right now, has given a series to remember. And it will be remembered for a very long time. 0-0 Prospects battling here. Just hit the halfway marker. 2 apiece. The goal scoring prowess has slowed down just momentarily as Jewels does put it forward. And he finds a booming clearance, but Pablo's going to be well aware of it in that midfield. Trex is there, and he fires a shot off the crossbar down. Couldn't exactly get the read. Could have been exactly what Prospects needed. But I have to admit it, as time has gone on, Prospects, they've been hitting the post more and more. Their dead-eye accuracy seems to be dwindling ever so slightly, and that is a troubling concern for me. The SOLIS, they seem to only get sharper and sharper.
And if we continue to have 4-goal games, 6-goal games, go on through this second best of 7, I don't know how long we're gonna be here, but both teams desperately wanting to finish it as quickly as possible. The furthest thing I can imagine is this ending in a 4-0 sweep, unless one side completely shuts down, completely falls apart. We've not seen it from either side. We've not seen any signs of either side slowing down, taking a breath, even a single moment. They wanted to get going with this reset as quickly as possible. I don't envy them necessarily. I don't blame them for wanting to get it over with, because we've been here for so long and we needed to decide a winner. It could be 0-0 Prospect, as this one slow rolls in, Enlid with his brace, and with a minute left to go, they could be taking game 1 once again. And if the script follows the same way, they take the first 2 games, SOLIS takes 2, then it's back and forth to the final. And I just
starts another 20 gifted sub.
I genuinely bankrupt this man because we're playing too much Rocket League.
Netflix is fueling the bracket resets here.
We call it source spell, but apparently he is the one. His brain equalize. Again, Juicy with an amazing air dribble to the backboard, forcing J-Walls to jump. Top left bins, you could not place that any further into the corner.
That is the toppest of bins.
The toppest of bins, yeah. It's all the way in there. And it's all the way in favor of the neutrals, shall we say. Watching this stream, I think we've had the highest count ever, apart from maybe the draft or the conference call. 133 of you watching this unfold. Thank you so much to everyone for being here. I hope we're entertaining you. I hope this Rocket League is getting you hyped, getting you out your seat, because it certainly is for me and Hop. Beautiful Rocket League. As frustrating as it is that we had to be forced, dragged maybe, kicking and screaming into a second best of 7. They'll see that from their point of view, 0-0.
It's like we're complaining that we don't want more Rocket League.
They
complain about a dove like that from Brain with 14 seconds left. I think a lot of us are enjoying
this.
It's
a love-hate thing, Hop. I love Rocket League to the death. I love it so much, but I hate that it's not been decided yet, that it could go to even more higher height.
Need to want to know about who's going to come out on top is what's killing us here. This Trex gets caught up underneath his teammate's car. Brain gets a double demo. That may well seal the
Might have been up.
Oh no!
He didn't have any teammates.
He didn't have a teammate. That would have been a goal. But the ball is still up in the air. Brain's going to send it right down the other end of the field and get it. SOLIS, they will go up 1-0 in this grand second. You know, Landon, RSCS Landon's going to be good, but really, if you're watching this, you're going to be disappointed because nothing's going to match it. Masters drops a gifted sub to put himself back into the lead in regards of sub counts given. And whether the hype train has started, but it actually never left as we are into this game too.
Never stopped.
And it never stopped whatsoever. SOLIS pushing and prying once again. Pablo! From inside the goal. Finds that stop. Juicy's returning the favour, and eventually SOLIS are able to get back in the front again. 1-0 for SOLIS. What a save it was from Inlet.
I'm reaching new octaves.
It's been ridiculous. Yeah, dogs are going to come start flying into your room soon. You're hitting pitches unknown to the men's vocal cords.
Oh god, this is just crazy. It could be a second for SOLIS. It's denied. Pablo has done so much work throughout this series. The amount of clutch goals, clutch situations that it's been, and another great flick here over Inlid. J-Walls is there, and it's just a matter of time. It feels like Pablo trying to get back into shooting, scoring form. Juicy was the one that opened the scoring for SOLIS here. 0-0 prospects attempting to find their way back in. J-Walls to the backboard. Enlid gets a shot away, and it's somehow taken off the line. Brain with the clutch, almost goal line save. Enlid did it, and Brain was, I mean, he wasn't the tribute act, he usurped it.
What was that? That was absolutely ridiculous. And Brain's ability, Brain's brain. The IQ on this man hurts, man. This somehow they're able to keep it out, and as I say, SOLIS' defense is the true MVP of this series, and it does get a demo onto Pablo to try and go forward, but again, rotations undeniably clear. Pablo comes off respawn to 50-50 out Trex, and Juicy's going to throw an attempted clearance out. Pablo just buying so much time on that backboard. They have that goal lead and they know it, and they're letting 0-0 prospects say, let them know too that they're playing from behind. Juicy plays it towards the side wall, does find a second touch, but Trex is there again. Plays it high, but met in the air by the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Brain. Pablo has boost to work with. Plays another one straight into Inlet. Great attempt so far. We're approaching the halfway marker. Vector and SOLIS, they look in complete control.
But it is only one goal, despite the fact they've had 5 shots to the single lone one for 0-0 prospects. We've said it before, we continue to say it. Quality, not quantity, as Trex has everything in this play. A brilliant carry over through the corner. Enlid already in the correct position, far side of the net, to retake an equal game for 0-0. They were desperate to make sure SOLIS could not continue this run, this form, but it won't matter as a neutral kickoff turns into the opposite of that for Juicy. Behind his brace, Pablo gets the ball back into the mid. Enlid has no idea where this one was going to go. They retake that lead in such quick fashion. Embarrassing 0-0. We've seen a few kickoff goals in this series, probably the most we've ever seen in Premier, in the last series, in fact. And another one comes there for SOLIS. You start to wonder, is fortune favouring them? Is destiny on their side? But another thing I was thinking about, fatigue. When does that start truly creeping in? When do the actual glaring, wide open errors start to come to the fore? It doesn't seem like either team is making any. They're constantly playing at 110%. All 6 of them. Another pass in field for J-Walls. The communication. He could have just gone for a shot there, but no. He's been told, I'm behind you, mate. Take the ball around, confuse the defense, we'll get a shot away, and we'll put it in.
What a finish indeed. It's 2 apiece now. Neither of these sides wanted to break away, but Trex looking to take the lead here. Unable to do so. Brain, Juicy, and Pablo all parking themselves rather close to the net. Whether the fear, I think, of their defense setting in. What a pass from Juicy, and what a finish from Pablo. And the communication definitely becoming overtly paramount here. As the side of SOLIS take another lead in this game. It's 3-2. They're on the cusp of taking this second game, but they've got to hold off for that minute and 54. We'll have to see if they're going to be able to do so. I cannot call it whatsoever, but this game has been so back and forth. Anything really can happen. But if Juicy has something to say about it, he does absolutely not. Offering that 2-goal lead, 4-2, SOLIS, courtesy of the man who really can and surely should be crowned MVP of Premier, is taking them to that 4th goal.
It's just delicious. The hat-trick there is a pretty rare thing. In fact, between these two teams, I'm not sure how many hat-tricks I've seen. That's the first one that I've fully, properly noticed from the Frenchman. And I just don't think you can pick an MVP out of all 6 of these players. Every single one of them has given their all. Whichever side doesn't win, I don't think they're a loser. I just think they're the less good winner, shall we say. I mean, obviously, someone has to be beaten. Someone has to fall into second place. Whilst you might say second place is first loser, you cannot say that for this series. They've all been amazing. It went to a Game 7, came down to a single goal in overtime. But SOLIS here, reaching ever higher heights. As a 2-goal lead, almost a 3-goal. As Juicy denied his 4th. Yeah, that's right, you heard me. 4th goal in this series, in this second game. Still in the favor of SOLIS, 0-0 prospects. Praying, hoping against hope that they can bounce back because they find themselves 5-2 down against the team that they took down 3-1 in a best of 5. They just needed a couple best of 7s top. That's all SOLIS needed.
That's obscene. What a ridiculous finish coming out from Juicy and Co. And right now that 5-2 lead looking almost insurmountable with the Pablo breaking legs. It just shows the level of confidence that SOLIS is playing at right now. They've won so many games in this grand final already, but they are yet to close it out. They're still at least 2 games off of taking it if they were to take this one. And it doesn't look like 0-0 prospects. 0-0 Nation is going to be able to bring this back, especially with Juicy and Pablo linking up as they have done so effectively throughout this grand final, throughout these playoffs. And 10 seconds are ticking. SOLIS, they're going to go up 2-0 in the second best of 7. 0-0 prospects. They've only won 1 game, whilst the side of SOLIS has won 6 on the bound. Beyond 5 minutes on the clock now. And SOLIS, they're keeping up their form. They're already with the offensive mindset. Juicy, their ringleader, doing exactly that. It's a great rotation from Pablo to keep possession of the ball, but he's challenged early. The ball's going to fly towards the net. Brain with a nice turn. And I think the standout, as we've said a couple of times now, has been the SOLIS defense. Nothing seems to get through them. And only things that seem to be going into this.
Oh, the double reset. The triple reset. No! Juicy!
Silence!
What?
Silence!
He didn't even need it. He didn't need the reset. He didn't need the flip to finish it. He just silenced everybody in the crowd, on the field, to get the double reset, but not even need it. What? You said it yourself. SOLIS have something more. They've got something else in the tank. They are just better.
They are just better.
As brilliant as 0-0 prospects have been, they cannot do enough as Juicy looking to make it that much worse. That would have been crazy. He finishes it off anyway. Where is the 0-0 defense? They look completely lost.
They're knackered. They're burnt out. They're burnt to a crisp. Those sausages have been left on the barbecue for way too long. You don't want to have a bite out of them. You break your teeth right now. That's how burnt up this side of 0-0 prospects is. But this is surely another level. Any scouts out there, any pro teams out there watching this system,
Pablo, no!
need to get them signed. Pablo, salt deeper into the wound that 0-0 prospects have found themselves the recipient of. It is just unbelievable, Rocket League, and you can hear me and Vector right now. We're running out of things to say because what more is there to say about how well SOLIS is playing? The action, the gameplay, is doing all the talking for itself. They don't need us. They don't need us to be here examining it and breaking it down because it is pure perfection. And dare I say it, I think even the 0-0 Nation starting roster would struggle against this team playing at this level.
That's quite a challenge. We'd love to see them here at the RSC to answer that call if they deign to do it. Don't know if it'll happen. We've got their little brothers struggling here. Being demolished, decimated, embarrassed, bullied. Every single adjective that you can think of. Juicy off the ceiling. Still had his reset there, but not enough boost to work with to find a 4-goal lead. Only just gone 2 minutes in. And SOLIS looked to completely shred every single hope and dream that 0-0 could have possibly had. They fought unbelievably hard in that game 7, in that entire first best of 7. They gave themselves the second life. They've desperately needed it. It still may not be enough. Should SOLIS hold on to this lead, it could be a possible sweep in the second series. I don't even know anymore.
One person who's predicted SOLIS to win, and that was Barman.
Yeah. Bold Manitan.
The bold Manitan almost
Boldest
confirmed that he makes the boldest predictions, and then he may shave
it's not
his
that
head
bold,
if the
to be
RSC.
honest.
Bold Manitan himself. If we want that, can we get some poggers in chat? Love to see it indeed. Checks off the backboard again, takes it to the ceiling, off the sidewall, trying to go again. His teammate Enid is there, but Brain is once again going to be the mastermind to that defensive plan. And Juicy is going to be perfect when going forward again. So difficult to defend against, regardless of how well you're playing. It seems like this Juicy man may find a way through that with that gigantic Mustang car. Enid off the backboard does get a touch. The 1:30 on the clock. It's 3-0 in favour of SOLIS to go put themselves onto match point of this second best of 7. I can't quite believe it. It's been a ridiculous evening of Rocket League. And SOLIS...
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh,
Trex.
Thank God Trex got that save, because honestly, Vector, tell me your sanity is just wiped out.
It just got broken again. Oh, Pablo spinning on his hood.
Real tears here.
All 3 players missed this ball. J-Walls dives too early, and the other 2 too late. There's a 4-goal lead. Pablo and Juicy to be the ones to stab 0-0 prospects deep into their hearts. Push that dagger ever deeper. Put themselves onto match point. They aren't getting 4 goals back in a minute. I don't care who you are or what you say. It's not happening. And they will take 3 games on the bounce once more in the second best of 7 series against 0-0. A reverse sweep. As possible as it is, Hop, it's not possible. It is not possible. SOLIS are just too good. They've been too good.
I kind of want to sit
I will
here
question everything I ever know.
I'm kind of tempted to sit here for the next 30 seconds and just let the gameplay talk. It has been ridiculous. Unbelievable. And
Still can't get a consolation.
Yeah, the consolation attempts. The defense from SOLIS. Vector, you're a defensive mastermind yourself.
There we go.
Is the defense of this SOLIS side the best we've ever seen? Because I don't know what else to say.
I wouldn't say it is the best we've ever seen. Of course, the best we've ever seen would be an entirely perfect sweep. I don't know if that is attainable. It's astronomically unlikely. But this is one of the best I think we've ever seen. Of course, it did go to Game 7. 0-0 prospects did take 3 games and they scored plenty of goals of their own. They're going to get maybe another here. Will be denied, and triple commit says no. As it's kept alive by J-Walls, maybe looking for that second goal just to give them a spark, give them some inspiration. They need more.
At the end of the day, I think all of our voices are broken with the amount of time we're screaming at this screen. What a showing for both these sides. But with that, SOLIS, they are on match point. to finding themselves the victors and the grand £1,000 cheaper. £1,000 cheaper? £1,000 richer, even. And what a shame it would be. Bracket resetting the 0-0 prospect side coming from that 0-0 Nation esports organization. Yes, that is the one. That is the RSCS team. Yes, you are not mistaken. This is the prospect side on the cusp of getting bracket reset, losing here. The receiving end of it, even. And what a showing. Brain, potential mastermind of it, with Pablo, has the aerial, tries to get it around one, but Trex is there, landing down. Juicy plays it forward, disrupting though the player trying to map it out. He goes forward and Juicy again, he's just facilitating everything right now. The bounce is a little bit awkward, going to favour England, who's going to be able to get back to the ball first. Brain is there, forces the 50-50 onto Trex. Trex is going to come away with it. Pablo up the backboards, can't follow it up with the touch. He hasn't got much boost to work with. Juicy does find the touch though, and again, he's the mastermind. He is the hero of this SOLIS roster, but 0-0 prospects seems like they're fighting with a bit of a different energy in this game number 4.
Yeah, this is something that, I mean, I was just mulling it over in my head. I was thinking, if they somehow managed to pull off this reverse sweep, it could have started there for Trex, not enough. Angle just too tight. But if they did, J-Walls needs to, I don't know how much he gets paid, but he needs to get paid more. Like, that's just, if they manage to do it, it's hard enough being a coach, but to also have to play the game, hold on to your own mentality, steal your own self, your own psychology, and then have to look after Inlid and Trex at the very same time whilst playing the game. That is absolutely insane. How we'd manage to do that if they do bring this back, but they're struggling so much here. Only one shot on the board for either side, so something has clearly changed. I don't know what J-Walls has said. He's had to have said something to this Norwegian side. Struggling here. Still on the back foot, of course. 3-game deficit. SOLIS have won 4 games in a row to get here. They've already done a sweep over 0-0 prospects. Looking to make it 5. But as we hit the halfway mark, 0-0 prospects offering themselves a different prospect here.
They really are. Inlid goes up to the air, does stay with the ball momentarily, but it does meet Pablo's bonnet. And it is the danger man, Juicy, almost doing it again. Every single time you give this man a remnant of space, he looks like he's going to slot it into the back of the net. He does find himself in the corner with the ball, looks like he's going to be challenged early. Goes to the air, a bit mistouch there, but a huge demo onto 1. It's just going to make it so much more difficult for prospects to go forward, but Inlid does do a very good job in doing so. Brain's going to come off the backboard, knocks it forward, lands on the ball just to mitigate the pace out of it. Juicy does get a smart touch, forcing Trex to have to play it to the opposite side. Brain goes up to the sidewall. Pablo off towards the backboard, does find a second touch, walking for Juicy. Juicy there, but cannot get around the ball to find that shot. Trex does win that 50-50, knocks it forward just a bit over his teammate though. Pablo's going to win that 50-50 onto J-Walls as the midfield battle ensues. Juicy knocks
the pass, Pablo!
Pablo with the 25 left on the clock, and has Pablo done it?
I was just thinking, this favours SOLIS. A 0-0 game is so much worse for 0-0 prospects because anything at any time could happen like that. A simple passing play through the mid, but a scorcher of a shot from Pablo. Had to put it exactly where it was in order to finish it. I think the defender would have got there otherwise. But they seem to do that every single time. Something seems to happen every single time as well. When Juicy goes for an aerial play, still has presence of mind as well as the pace. He always seems to be supersonic to go for a demo or a bump. He switches his mind instantaneously to disruption. He knows he's not in the play anymore and he goes for the last man. It's opened up so much space, so many opportunities for SOLIS, and he could be doing it again here. 1v1 situation with Enlid. Doesn't beat him to the boost, but he does beat him to the ball. Pablo up again. It's going to drop down awkwardly for 0-0 to deal with, but they do just about. Trex to keep it alive, but 30 seconds left is all the difference it could make. It could be 2 goals if J-Walls doesn't get it away. It's in the wrong half of the field hop. This could be their last chance.
Last year.
No! No! Off the line!
What? Both teams
How do we start the ball?
in terms of our speech right now. Pablo with a lovely pop. He takes it to the air, looking for the double tap. It gets pancaked by J-Wall. Such a smart defensive play, but the time is of the essence. SOLIS, how have they made the miracle run? They've done it from the lower bracket onwards. It's a long way short, but Juicy, he's the man. He's done it.
Oh
no! And it is SOLIS.
SOLIS!
Everyone in high school doubted me. Woke up to a text, said they're proud of me. Everyone in high school doubted me. Woke up to a track, now they're proud of me. Everyone in high school doubted me. Woke up to a text, say they're proud of me. Woke up to a text, say they're proud of me.